Hey everyone, it's Jenks and I'm back with another opening range break video for EU during the London trading session. We're tracking the retest entry again as, in my opinion, the year is really starting to turn around for this strategy. That being said, before we dive into the rules refresher, let's take a quick look back at how the year's done so far. I'm going to zoom out and just use like the 1 hour to make it that little bit easier. So here in January, we ended the month with a 2R profit. In February, we lost 5R, so we're actually down 3R by the end of February. In March, we turn it around and we go from minus 3R up to positive 1R for the year. And then after last month, we go from the 1R to 6R on the year. So, yeah, it's not too bad for being completely mechanical. It's got no bias, no relying on intuition. It's just literally rules and trades. I'm a firm believer that trading is only as hard as you make it. And when you make your strategy as easy as this, 6R after 4 months is plenty. The reality is when you're focused on completely mechanical strategies, the goal becomes developing kind of like a portfolio of strategies. The bad months of one strategy get shored up by the good months of the others. And when all of the strategies have a good month, you have a great month. So sorry for the rant. I'm just kind of giving you something to consider when it comes to rules-based strategies. Speaking of the rules, here's a quick refresher. We wait for price to form a range over the first 15 minutes of the session. Once price trades outside of that range, I place a limit order at the midline. I'll use the opposite side of the range as the breakout as my stop loss, and I'll target 3 times my risk for my take profit. I'll cancel any unfilled orders at 5 p.m., and I'm only interested in 1 trade per session. That rule tends to keep me out of multiple losses on bad ranging days. Now that we're done with all of that, let's check out the month of May. As is tradition, we open up the month with a loss. We break out bearishly right here. Then we retrace back and lose instantly. So that's always fun. Let's mark this off and move on to the next day. Okay. So this looks like, unfortunately, a ranging day that we get kind of protected by our last rule, the 1 trade per session, because it looks like we would have lost 2 had we taken 2. So mark off the loss and move on to the next day. All right. Unfortunately, there's another ranging day. So we're starting off the month not great. But as we saw last month and we've seen in other videos, things can quickly turn around when you're going for 3R. So it's okay. We take the losses in stride and we move on. Okay, we break out right here. Place our order, and we come terrifyingly close to losing the trade after getting tagged in, but it looks like we have a winner here. Yep. Cool. Yep. So that's good. That negates most, if not all, of our losses so far this month. So yeah, doing okay. This looks like a no tag day from being zoomed out. Let's see. It doesn't look like this breaks at all down there. Although I wouldn't be surprised if on another broker this possibly breaks. So something to consider. We don't have too many close calls like that. It looks like price never comes back after breaking out of the range here. It never comes back during the session. So it comes back later on in the morning, but we are done trading by 5 a.m. So we move on to the next day and see how we do. And this one, on the other hand, looks like it does give us an entry. So we break out right here very shortly after the range is formed, and we get tagged in very shortly after that. Mark the 3R. Yeah, plenty of room to win. Okay. Not doing too bad. I think we're a bit better than break even so far this month. We're close at worst. We are very close to break even at worst. So I'm not going to go through the whole process of drawing this out, but you can see that even though we break out right here, we never come back to get tagged in. So we're just going to go ahead and move on to the next day, as that is a no fill day. This appears to be an unfortunate ranging day, and we're going to take the loss bearishly right here. We're going to take the loss from a bearish breakout, is kind of what I was trying to say. But yeah, these ranging days really kind of mess us up. But you can see this strategy prevents us from taking another loss. This rule that we have in place prevents us from taking another loss. And it would have earlier in the month when we had that other ranging day too. So I really like that rule. It's all about protecting the profits that you've already made. So, okay, we have our range. And we break out bullishly, but we never come back and get a fill. So I'm just not going to draw this out, but break out here and never get filled. And we move on to the next day. So this one looks like we break out right here, and just like yesterday, it looks like we just don't get filled at all during this session. So breakout right here and no fill, no retracement deep enough to get us a fill, unfortunately. So that's okay. We move on to the next day and see how we do. Okay, we have our bottom of the range, top of the range, and I'm just going to double check that we don't kind of break out right after there. So looks, yeah, no breakout. So our breakout is a bearish breakout, and we get tagged in pretty quickly. And yeah, we'll take this win. We will take this win happily. We'll mark this off real quick, and then we'll just go on to the next day. Okay, so feeling pretty good about moving into the last half of the month, like the home stretch, as it were. This looks like a no-fill day. That's okay. So we break out right here, 319, and just never come back to the midline to get us involved, and that's okay. We just move on to the next day and see how we do. For our purposes, this is just a bad ranging day. Looks like we break out of the range bullishly first, and then just take the loss kind of very quickly after getting tagged in. So we mark off the loss with the highlighter tool and move on to the next day. Okay, so we break out bearishly, and this kind of looks like a ranging day, so we're going to have to scroll to the right and see how we do. But place the stop loss above the opposite side of the range, target the 3R for the take profit. So again, something to note that this may lose on a different broker. It's just worth noting, and no matter what, it actually ends up losing, so it's okay. Mark off the loss and move on to the next day. The joys of backtesting, right? Always fun to just get tricked like that. The old bamboozle. So we take an L here. Okay. Creeping closer and closer back to break even, and that's okay. Again, with a mechanical strategy, you're just kind of following the rules and placing trades, and that's fine, honestly. So bottom, top, breakout, no midline retracement. So this ends up being a no-fill day as we move on to, I think, like the last week of May. Okay. We have a bearish day, bearish breakout day, but no retracement back to the midline to get a fill, unfortunately. So we just have to watch this one go by without us. It's okay. Let's move on to Tuesday, the 27th. And this ends up being the same exact thing. So we have the bottom, the top, the breakout, no retracement to the midline after the breakout during the session. So it's okay. It is what it is. We inch closer to the end of the month, and we'll tally everything up then. So, yep, this looks like the tail of it for the last week here. So, breakout, no retracement. We move on to Thursday. We get 2 more opportunities to see what we can do. So just double check that we don't. So we break out bearishly right here. Then we get tagged right here. And then let's see. Let's find out together. Yeah, take the loss. It's fun. All right. And for the last day of the month, it looks like a loss. It's okay. Draw the short position right here. Stop loss goes there. Take profit doesn't matter too much. Although, wow. Basically 3 on the nose. And yeah, mark that off. Do our loss. And then let's hop up to the higher time frame and give it a count. All right. So when I zoomed out, apparently I missed May 1st and started on May 2nd. We're just going to go and mark off May 1st's, it looks like, loss real quick, because every first day of the month has to be a loss with this strategy, apparently. But yeah, let's mark this off real quick. That's okay. All right. Mark that, and we will go back to the 15-minute and tally up the month now. Okay, so here on May 1st, we have our first loss. So we're 0-1, 0-2, 0-3, 0-4, 1-4, 2-4, 2-5, 3-5, 3-6, 3-7, 3-8, 3-9, and 3-10. So this unfortunately is a negative month, as this ends up being -1R. All right, so we are still positive on the year. Unfortunately, it's a negative month, but we take it in stride. It's all part of trading a mechanical strategy. As I said in the beginning of the video, this maybe has a bad month, and then what we do over on NASDAQ has a good month. So we take it in stride. We put all of our strategies together as part of a portfolio, and we look at ourselves as a trader overall. And we analyze how each strategy does, maybe every few months, every 6 months or something like that. And we kind of gauge the validity about whether or not we kind of keep going with it. So we'll keep testing out this strategy, and every couple of months we'll take a look at it, make sure that it's still in the positive, make sure it's still worth kind of testing out, and then go from there. So thanks for joining me. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe, and we will see you guys in the next one. Thank you.